Right, guys. Today we're going to talk about passport bros. Something a little bit off topic from the other stuff. It's just because I sat watching stuff this morning because I was at the gym yesterday, so my shoulders are sore. So I thought I'd watch some videos before I go to the gym again. Um, yeah, so I was watching Pearly Things. It'd be worth having a look at the video. Sorry, channel, because there's different topics on there which may resonate. But Passport Bros has come up in my stream. You know, it's like Passport Bros as if it's a new thing. Before it used to be mail order brides. It used to be all old sado men going to the Asia to find young, um, destitute, poor women, all that sort of stuff. You know, sounds very leftist view on a lot of this stuff. Because let's face it, I went out there in my 30s, where I met my wife, my now wife, and we've been married for a long time. But at the same time, when I first went out there, because we communicated for about 9 months, and then went out there, even from the airport, we were happy to see each other because obviously we talked a lot for a long time. But then we went from the airport to the first restaurant, and we instantly hit it off. What was funny is my wife actually, well, my now wife was like, she was surprised how thin I was because back in those days I was doing 3 hours a day in the gym. But she was like, because a lot of foreigners out there are quite chubby or fat, excessively fat. You see me go. There's a lot of overweight guys. Um, but the Philippines helps with that because microwave meals, for example, don't exist. But I'm not talking about dried fish and pork, 'cause that's another story. Um, But why are guys heading that way? I mean, myself, I think it's been ongoing since the 80s. And like I says, I wasn't an old guy. I know somebody in their 20s go, oh, you're old, you're in your 30s. It's like, nah, it's not even middle age. Um, but the point being is, for me, it wasn't a planned thing. It sort of just happened. And then when we met, that was it. The wheels were in motion. Moved out to Asia, spent time there, very happy. Things moved from being money orientated to family and time orientated, you know, spending time together. The whole dynamic changed because the culture and personalities in many people are still traditional. Now, I'm for traditional marriage. Now, if you don't agree with me, that's fine. But the fact I'm still married for over 15 years and we're still happily married. We still look forward to, you know, I'm working away. My wife looks forward to me getting home. Um, that's often better than some guys and girls that have been married for a year. Because my wife up here looks after make sure everything at home is taken care of. It's a bit like when, you know, people say, "Oh, you know, these women are abused and all the money taken." My wife was self sufficient before I arrived, long before I arrived. She's a top university graduate in the Philippines, and she's yeah, she's a graduate engineer. She's not a poor provincial woman, which is the leftist sort of view on how everybody should be. Um, but reality is, my wife didn't need me. Is we just clicked, we hit it off, and it's like, you know what, my wife lives in a beach house in Spain. No money worries. She makes sure the kids get on well. You know, she focuses on them getting educated. Focus on they've got everything they need, and I focus on bringing the money in. Oh, it's a bit of a partnership. Now, is it a sacrifice? Everyone's sacrificing. You always will in life. You know, my wife may have some opinions and stuff, and to be fair, she knows she can always air them. You know, there's a lot of stuff we don't agree on, but you know what? We listen to each other. Doesn't mean somebody's submissive. It means the priorities may be different. You know, for example, I like cooking, but my wife loves cooking, so she wants to cook. That's her domain. Because if I start cooking something, I turn around or go to the bathroom, and I come back, she's took over. That's like your job is to go and make the money. My job is to make sure the house and everything's running right. She makes sure I look after myself because like if I'm overworking, she'll try and rein that in. It's like if I've got a crap company, she'll say just quit. You don't need it. The fact is, you work as a team. You work as a. I mean, now we've got the kids. It's a family unit, a strong family unit. You're functional. You work as a group. Where I think a lot of the problems we have in society today is it's all about me. It's all about what's in it for me. What do I get out of it? Your money's my money. All that sort of stuff in relationships, which um, aren't worth the investment for a lot of guys. Because, like I said, I put all the cash in. I put all the stupid hours in. I'm giving up my youth to build the family home. For what? Because with my wife, she recognizes everything. She recognizes the sacrifices. She recognizes the time away from home. She recognizes what that commitment is to make sure the kids have got the best opportunities and we have a nice home and everything else. Put food on the table. A lot of people out there today do not see those sacrifices. They don't care. They expect I'm entitled to this, I'm entitled to that. I've got to admit, in the UK with the welfare state, it frustrates the hell out of me because it doesn't bring out the best in people. Because I'm a strong believer in everybody needs something to get up in the morning for. You know, it doesn't matter how small the job is. It's you. It's something. That's why I don't devalue people for having um, simplistic jobs or whatever. Because a lot of them I couldn't do. Not because I couldn't physically do them. It's just that I couldn't. They drive me insane doing some of these things. So people getting up in the morning, going to work, achieving something, that's important. Everybody has their place in society. And the current setup is not right. Really not. Now, I'm I believe in traditional marriage. I believe in people going through thick and thin. Um, Now, I had relationships before. I think the first one was like 7 years, with absolute nightmare. The second one was for 11 years, and we clashed all the time. Um, we had some good times, don't get me wrong, but we did clash way more than was healthy. Um, but it doesn't mean you don't love somebody or whatever at the time. But it's when you look back, you think, my God, we weren't good for each other because she did stuff her own way, regardless. Stuff that did drive me up the wall. Like for example, you had a long week, 16-hour days, and she's going, "Oh, I want to decorate the dining room." And say, "Don't do anything to the dining room. I'm tired." Like I'm tired. And you get home and she started stripping the dining room wallpaper because she's decided she wants to do it because she works part time and she doesn't give a damn about you. She wants that doing because that's what her priority is. There's been no thought about the fact that you've been out working night and day because I used to do call outs and all sorts. I'll be out like 3 o'clock in the morning um, because there's been a robbery at a petrol station or something. So the point is that was one relationship with my wife. She'll actually tell me to have afternoon naps. Completely different. And it's a bigger picture because I find that a lot of women are still traditional. They're less absorbed by consumerism. They're less bought into um, the keeping up with the Joneses, with neighbours, etc. They still, don't get me wrong, people still go comparing notes with each other. I mean, my wife keeps out of it, but we do see some others going, "What's your husband doing? What car do you drive? All that sort of stuff. That still goes on, but not as much. Um, but also, it's not about telling you to go and get a new car as a guy. It's them competing against each other. Um, but for me, nothing wrong with it. There's no way I would ever marry a Western woman. Yeah, I didn't even say again because I never got married till I went to Asia because I hadn't met somebody that I was able to say I'll commit to the same level, because my commitment is contractual. Because bizarrely, although I'm not religious, I am business orientated. So if I sign the contract, I bought into it. Um, so yeah, I'm 100% behind Passport Bros. The people are whinging and complaining. Look in the mirror. Why do you think these guys are going? Nah, not interested. Not interested. Don't even want to look. Because I remember one of my assistant, one of my admin. I like to call her my admin because she was the office admin, but I say my admin because she mainly worked for me because only two of us in the office. Because she hated it, and it's more of an in-house joke. Like she says, she's like gone Asian. Was it? There's something like gone Asian, ain't coming back. The reality is, she understood it 100%. So I can't understand why people are annoyed, frustrated, angry that guys are doing this stuff. What's your issue? I ain't bothered that you're going to be single, living with a cat. That's your choice. If you find somebody, okay, fine. I wish you the best. But what other people are doing, none of your business. But the guys out there, 100% recommend it. It's the same as when I tell people to go and travel. It's all about perspective. It opens up your eyes to the world. Because everything we have is often one dynamic because that's what's in front of us. We're in a bubble. So unless you actually take yourself outside that bubble and look in, firstly, you can't see what others are doing. And secondly, you can't look back and see what's right or wrong with what you're doing or looking at. And then, funny enough, that was the same on the channel I was watching. Was it Pearly something? Pearly Things. Worth having a look at her channel. But she was on about London, because I think she's got a bit tired of London, whatever. It's a lot of these places are not as friendly if you've come from other places. I've got to admit, I love the Philippines. I love Spain. Love Germany, Middle East, in many countries. I found a lot of the people are quite welcoming, friendly, etc. Don't get me wrong, some of the guys in the Middle East they've got superiority complex, which is a bit unfounded for a lot of them, because they're living on handouts from their royal family, shall we say. But the point being is the majority of people are sound. They're good. They they go out of the way to be polite, friendly, always put themselves out there. The dog eat dog society, which London often is. It's all London. It's all look after yourself, screw everybody else. Too much. It's not good. So yeah, for me, Passport Bros, good on you. Highly recommend it. Don't think it's something that guys were doing it before I did, and I'm nearly 50. So yeah, highly recommend it. Even if you're not really sure, travel, experience, and make your decisions. Because a bad marriage, you'll be spending your money on it for the rest of your life. If you don't think you will, bear in mind an ex-wife can bite into your pension funds in many cases. So you're even paying them out your own pocket for what you wanted to retire on. Not a good place to be. Thanks for watching, guys.